May I request Brother Ejaz Bhalloo to come forward and enlighten us the recitation and the commentary of the verses of the Holy Quran. May we please welcome him with loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brother Ejaz, brothers and sisters, the Quran is about to be recited. May I please request you all to maintain silence and take your seats, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. فاعف عنهم واستغفر لهم وشاورهم في الأمر فإذا عزمت فتوكل على الله إن الله يحب المتوكلين إن ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم وإن يخذلكم فمن ذا الذي ينصركم من بعده وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنين صدق الله العلي العظيم صلوات. So the verses that I've quoted are from Surah Al Imran, chapter number 3, verse number 159 and verse number 160. These two verses talk about the leadership of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Since we are all gathered here to understand what the leadership of our community is, what it entails, therefore who better to learn from than the Holy Prophet of this very same religion. Now God describes the leadership of the Holy Prophet in the following ways. God starts by saying, so by mercy from Allah, O Muhammad, you were lenient with them, talking about the Prophet with his behavior towards the Muslims, that you were lenient towards them, and if you had been rude or harsh or hasty with your followers, then they would have abandoned you, they would have forsaken you, they would have disbanded from about you. So pardon them and ask forgiveness for them and consult them in the matter. Now the next verse is also very interesting. It says, if Allah should aid you, no one can overcome you. Therefore it is a message for the leaders that if you are doing social work, if you are doing work for the community, if it is for the purpose of Allah, if it is for the purpose of benefiting mankind, no matter how much criticism you face, no matter how many trials and tribulations you undertake, no problem. If you are doing it for God, then God will protect you. God will be there to protect you against all evils and against all misfortunes. Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, he says in Nahjul Balagha, saying number 176, specifically using the word leadership. Imam Ali describes leadership in Nahjul Balagha in a beautiful way. What does he say? Alatul Ra'asati Sa'atul Sabr, which means that the tool for leadership, if you want to become a leader, this is the biggest tool you need to have. What? A big heart, an open heart, magnanimity. If you have a big heart, you will be the best leader. Listen to other people's concern. Solve their problems. If you have a big heart, you will always listen towards other people's problems. You will always be there whenever needed. Yes, at times you have to be strong, you have to be vigilant. But there are times whereby you need to show that love and kindness towards your community members. John F. Kennedy, the former president of the United States, who was shot eventually, he says, and I quote, learning and leadership are indispensable to each other. That means if you are a leader, don't say that, you know what, I don't need to learn anything now, I'm the most superior person in the society. No. If you are a leader, you need to take heed, you need to learn more and more, gain more knowledge, seek more wisdom. And now I've talked about leadership qualities. What about community members? What are some of the traits that communities need to possess in order for it to prosper? Imam Ali once again in Quran al-Hikam, hadith number 4684, he says, 3 things bring about love. If you want love to be there in the community, these 3 things are pivotal and vital. What? Number 1, Imam Ali says, وَحُسْنُ الْخُلْقِ, good temperament, be calm. If you're in a community, you see something has gone wrong, remain calm. Of course, stand up for the truth, stand up for justice. However, have a good temperament. Do not be angry, do not be harsh. Maintain serenity, maintain peace in the community. That's one. Number 2, وَحُسْنُ الرِّفْقِ, kindness. Very necessary. For leaders to show kindness and for people to show kindness towards the leaders. Number 3, وَالتَّوَاضُعُ, humility, humbleness. That when you are a leader, you shouldn't say that I am the most superior in society. Yes, you have more responsibility, you have more work. However, nonetheless, you should be the most humble person. You should be the most approachable according to Imam Ali. Now, 2 things before I end. This is the month of the very famous Indian Premier League, the month of the IPL. So therefore, let us take a bit of lessons from cricket. What does cricket teach us about leadership? So there was a player, a famous South African player, he is now retired. He's called Graham Smith. So one day Australia were playing against South Africa. Now they're playing in the match and suddenly Graham Smith, he got a shoulder injury. Now in cricket you experience different sorts of injury. You experience a hamstring on your leg or shoulder injury. So he went back to the pavilion, he couldn't play anymore. 9 wickets were down. The Australians started to celebrate that, you know what, we have defeated the South Africans, yes. However, Graham Smith, with a broken shoulder, with a broken arm, he came out and he started to bat. He faced more than 20 balls, 11 balls were left. If he would have been able to face all those 11 balls, the match would have been a tie, it would have been a draw. However, he was removed, a clean ball yorker from Mitchell Johnson. However, he showed the world that I may have a broken arm, I may have a broken shoulder, but I am not a broken man. He stood up for his right, he stood up for his team, and therefore as a leader, never give up. You will face a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, but never give up. I'll end with this story and inshallah we are done. This story is from Jaza al-A'mal, page number 37. Sheikh Ahmad Mujtahidi, very famous scholar, he stated that there was a man in Shahryar, Iran, there was a man, and suddenly there was an affliction of a disease in all the grape gardens. In Iran, all the grape gardens that existed, all of them were afflicted with a disease. Now this person right here, he also owned a grape garden in Shahryar. So he said that I believe that nothing has happened to my grape garden. Allah will protect my grape garden. So they were surprised, like all those other gardens have been afflicted with the disease. How will your garden be protected? This person replied, it is because I was giving zakat regularly. I was helping society. I was there to bring social reform. I was there to serve humanity. Therefore Allah will protect you. So those people are saying, let us go and conduct an investigation. They went to check all the grape gardens in Shahryar and they realized that the only one that was not afflicted with a disease was this person. Why? Because he was serving humanity, serving the society. Therefore, if you are a leader, if you are a member of the community, if you are a low-income man of the community, always be there to serve. Always be there to serve, not only the community, but humanity at large. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.